chapter 31. Back in Numbers chapter 31. You have anything, you can bring it out, of course. Back in Numbers chapter 31. So with this one, it kind of, you can bring it out, of course. It's like one of the movies that, they have a story going on over here, and then they'll shoot a scene at another spot, deal with something else, and then it kind of come back. That's what's kind of happening, right? Because last time we read about, they have a story going on over here, and then they'll shoot a scene at another spot, deal with something else, and then it kind of comes back. It was dealing with the roles of that man and how he has authority over his wife, and then how the father have authority over his daughter, right, in the last chapter. So now it's going to go back to kind of when Moses and the Midianites, all right? Well, not Moses, Israel dealing with the Midianites, okay? So it might seem like it didn't continue on from that thought, but that's how it goes sometimes. So we had Numbers chapter 31, and we're going to start at verse 1. Numbers chapter 31, and we're going to start at verse 1. And Yahweh was speaking to Moses, saying, avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterwards shall thou be gathered unto thy people. All right. So avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. All right. Because they have caused some issues as we continue to read. All right. So, yes, we know that our God is merciful and all those kind of things. But also, the world need to know that our God deals with judgment. Okay? Our God is not a play toy, as people like to teach or esteem that aspect. Oh, he's just so loving, passionate, merciful. That is true. But he's a guy. He could be a man of war. He can be, come with the battle axe. He can come with vengeance. So it's two sides. How you do things, beloved, you can experience one side or the other. And so with this one, he's saying you're going to avenge them, okay, of the Midianites. So very specific to the Midianites. Verse 3, and Moses spake unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000, throughout all the tribes of Israel, shall ye send to the war. So gather, arm yourselves into war. So yes, we were, doing the fighting, okay? And you're going to go. And we need to realize, not us personally, but those that don't realize that even when the Most High is dealing with vengeance, right? Dealing with, recompensing, those that have done wrong, even though it's saying he's doing it, he can use vessels to what? Perform his actions or his wrath, all right? Whether it's good or bad, I'll put it that way, all right? So when we're looking at this, you will see sometimes when it says, the Lord did this, but you're like, wait up, it said the Lord did it, but that was Moses. It said the Lord did it, but that was this group doing it, right? So he will use people and nations to illustrate his wrath or to carry out his duty or business. Okay? Same thing with the angels. You got angels that's going out carrying us. You got some when it's something bad to them, you got what? You got evil angels. Right? So the Most High is still orchestrating it all. Right? He is still in control of all of it. But nonetheless, all right, he's saying you're going to get every tribe 1,000, out of every tribe 1,000, throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to the war. Right? Every tribe get involved, not just one or two, all of them get involved. Verse 5. So there were delivered out of thousands of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. Verse 6. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, to the war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. Okay? So, and we read about Phinehas a few chapters back, how he came about. So it's nice to see a little shout out, right? Even with Phinehas, but he's going to come, the son of Eleazar the priest. Okay, so he's dealing with what? The priesthood. To the war. Why is he coming to the war? All right. with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. So, because these are holy instruments, you want to what? Have holy people dealing with it, right? That was the point of priests and everything. They supposed to be righteous, dealing with the righteous instruments, not just instruments of music and things like that, but instruments, even when it comes to like the sacrifice and all those kind of things, those were what? Sanctified instruments for what? For the use. These things are workings of what? Us dealing with our God. Okay, so if you're sanctifying the instruments, it should be understood that what? He want the ones that's dealing with it to be sanctified or clean. The instruments being clean, but you got filthy people dealing with it, that's gonna what? That can contaminate it. Even though the priests weren't always right, this was the ideal of how it's supposed to be. Now, when you're looking at he bringing the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand, once again, we talk about the trumpets, what it represents. We talked about it. This is about 21 chapters ago, right? When you go to Numbers 10, it talks about the trumpet. You got trumpets for gathering, you got trumpets to go to war, you got trumpets to announce things, right? The trumpets have, they don't have loudspeakers. This is the loudspeaker. Okay. So when you're looking at this, it's very important that he's bringing it, showing that announcement of what? Going to war. Because also they talked about trumpets later on. That's why we have a feast of trumpets. Not that it's glorifying trumpets or just the sound of it, right? But what it represents to us as a culture, we know this is okay, something's happening. It's an introduction of something. And the Most High is using this for illustrations that when you see they hear the sound, there's something happening. All right. Does anybody got anything so far before we carry on? Verse 7. And they warred against the Midianites as Yahweh commanded Moses, and they slew all the males. And they slew the kings of Midian, beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi and Rekem and Zur, and Hur and Rabbah, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also, the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. All right, so he get killed too. Okay, once again, we had a little reference to that a few chapters ago. All right, dealing with Balaam. So once again, he is specifying the males because we're gonna talk about something with the females soon. We're gonna talk about them. All right, but this is who they wiped out. They slain all the males. Very important when you see these things because once again, when you take out the male, you're taking out what? That seed line, right? This is how you take out a nation. Take out the seed line. The women, y'all are great vessels and everything, but the male having that seed, if you take out all the males, then what? Usually in the nation, they'll take the females and they just build upon the nation. All the children are going to be them. This is how it went. So this is why when you see certain things like that, that's usually the reason. Besides, men were the ones going to war and all that stuff, and that will deplete the power. But that's another move that we have done. Okay? This is something that we've seen in Egypt when we go to Exodus. Remember, they took the male children, cast them out, killed them. Moses survived out of that generation, but remember, they was wiping out all of them. They were because when they were Israel, we multiply. All right, like they say, baby kids, we don't die, we multiply. And they were looking like, man, they can overcome us if another enemy come and they join with them, they're gonna overcome us. So they got rid of the males. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Verse 9. Verse 9. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle and all their flocks and all their goods. So there is instructions when Israel do go out to war. There's times where destroy everything, burn it all up, blah, blah, blah. You get those instructions, you get, okay, you deal this, but spare this. So the Most High will instruct how we deal with war and what kind of spoils we take from it. Right? And of course, there's some reasons behind those things. It's always a reason behind why he's doing what he's doing. So something like, why is it weird? Why is he telling you to wipe everything out? Not even the children to wipe everything out. And this time he's saying the spirit is because there's reasons, and a lot of times it can be spiritual reasonings. Sometimes we don't understand it. We're like, well, doesn't matter? This is this. but a lot of times there's spiritual reasonings, a lot of wickedness. Definitely when you're dealing with certain nations, there's certain things that it gets so embedded that it's almost like you ain't salvaged it, right? There's certain things with cars where mechanics say, you know what, we're going to repair that, and some they say, nah, that's just good. She's got to destroy that. It's done. So sometimes, beloved, you're gonna have to see. Well, you'll see that there's differences. Sometimes he's sparing certain things. Sometimes he's wiping everything out. But that's the Most High doing what He does. All right, we not thinking on His behalf. We don't. We wasn't supposed to, consider it. We're just supposed to what? Obey, hear and obey. Uh, Verse. So, all right. Took all the women of Midian captives, the little ones, the children, the spoil of the cattle and all their flocks and all their goods. So they're taking the women and all the spoils. Verse 10. And they burnt all the cities wherein they dwelt and all their goodly castles with fire. So there's one of those instances where they tearing down even their castles and stuff. Verse 11. And they took all the spoil and all the prey, both of man and of the beast and of beasts. And they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp of the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. So they're taking all the spoils of war. This is just common, beloved. People go out, they'll spoil. Once again, you have to be instructed because with us, we see what the Most High says, right? But everybody else usually they're going to go ransack and take all the goods regardless, okay? But with our God, He is particular. All right, that was verse 12, I believe. Okay, so they're bringing everything to Moses, of course. The smart thing to do, bring to the leader, and they're going to what? Follow through with what the Most High instruct them regarding it. Verse 13. And Moses and Eleazar the priest and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. So without the camp, outside the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. Uh-oh. All right, he is upset. He meet him outside the camp, but he is upset. And Moses said unto him, have ye saved all the women alive? Verse 16. Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against Yahweh in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of Yahweh. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that that have known man by lying with him. So you see, Moses is a little upset. He's like, wait up, do you understand? Like, why are we going and we wipe like the vengeance of the Lord while he's doing this? And y'all sparing some of them that what? Directly contributed to us going off. So that's what you'll say them all. So we see now, he's telling you, nah, wipe out the guys, even the little ones. Because some of them probably have murder. All right, we took the men out, but you got little boys and stuff. All right, nope. You're like, nope, take them out. And kill every woman, specifically what? That have known man by lying with them. So this is what? Virgins. All right. And I know you can save them. And I can tell you something, even when it talks to, we talk about, consummation of, I say consummation, the marriage or whatever, things like that. There's things that's involved with that because he's making that distinction. No, virgins you can save. Okay. And these are not, this is other nation women, right? So he's showing that also as well because there is certain things that what? It's a certain, I don't want to say the following going because people get all crazy, but the following don't mean sin, right? When you sleep, they will say, they got the file or whatever, right? Man, to mess with them. So it's a certain purity that comes with this. That's why it's so important when we are definitely to teach the younger generation, right? Getting back to that purity. Okay, even with us, right? The purity is very, very important with the Most High. The Most High considers it. Whether this world deems it, vain and pointless and put no value to it, the Most High esteems this. Okay, so we don't just be pure in body, right? But pure in mind. Okay, we're talking about virgin. It's a mindset as well, beloved. Let's keep going. Verse 18. But all the women, children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. So with this one, he's saying, all right, you can have women, but they what have they could not have known man already. I have certain thoughts of why that could be. All right, I'm sure there's a lot of breakdowns of it. When you dealing with this, once again, they have not been tainted by man. Sometimes you can have things where maybe they're thinking about you just killed my husband. Now, okay, well, I'll sleep with you, but I'm gonna set you up and do something later. It could have been that process in there, mixing other spirits with them. It's a lot of different things. All right. But once again, you talk about that purity. No, y'all gonna get the cream copy. Y'all not just get nope, you're gonna get these. Okay. So they were able to keep them alive. So you see that, yes, Israel took on women from the other nation. That was a spoil award that the Most High allowed. But he said, of course, he did put a stipulation. I did all of them. He was saying, yes, you're going to take the version of them. All right. But this is war, beloved. This is war, and the casualties of war that's happening. Verse 19. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days? Whosoever have killed any person, and whosoever have touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captives on the third day and on the seventh day. This should be a something that we probably remember, but it's been a while when we talk about to purify ourselves, right? To cleanse ourselves. We talk about leprosy and touching the dead body and all those kind of things. There was a purification method. All right. I believe you wash the third day, and then the seventh day you wash, and then you become clean. Right. So this is why Moses met on what? This is why it was given that he met him outside the camp. Already understood what? They're defiled. They just went to war. They gonna be defiled. And defiled ain't supposed to be coming in the camp. So he went out there to meet him out there, right? Verse 20. And purify all your raiment and all that is made of skins and all work of goat's hair and all things made of wood. So purify everything that y'all getting. Verse 21. And Eleazar the priest said unto the men of war, which went to the battle, this is the ordinance of the law which Yahweh commanded Moses. Verse 22, only the gold and the silver and the brass and the iron, the tin and the lead, everything that may abide the fire, ye shall make it go through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall be purified with the water of separation, and all that abideth not the fire, ye shall make it go through water. Once again, a little crumb in there about purification. So you see this thing. Whatever y'all got, if it's something that's a matter that gets purified through fire, put it through fire. So we know gold and stuff that it can go through fire, go through that heat, right? It's not going to destroy it. So things like that gold, that silver, that goes through the fire, going through a purging aspect. It's a good thing because it's showing like even the valuable things because these heathen deal with it. It's a what? It's a certain, if like a certain spirit on this thing. This thing have to go through a purification before you want to accept it. Because think about it, beloved, you look at it like this is money, 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 right? But he's making it go through a purification before it gets to them. And then you have things that can't go through the fire because it'll just burn up and be nothing. He's saying, okay, that stuff, let it go through the water. All right, the water separation, that's mentioned before as well. What's the beauty of this, beloved? These are the two forms of what? Getting clean. Fire, water. When you get to New Testament, what you have? John the Baptist baptizing people with what? Water. And then it talks about the Holy Spirit doing what? Baptizing Christ, dealing with what? Fire. Showing that what? Purification. We must go through a purification. Just like this stuff was dealing with wickedness and all tainted, it has to go through a purification before you deal with it. This is how the Most High deals with us. When we dealing in sin and stuff like that, we need to go through a purification that we can now be what? Accepted. Just don't accept anything. Has to go through a purification to be accepted. We have the beauty of going through both, right? We can go through water, and then we have to get the deeper one, what? Through fire. But of course, beloved, we're not Gonna be fire with this body, right? Gonna burn. So dealing with spiritual. Okay. So these are very, very important when you're looking at the purification. Right. So water always kind of been on the scene. They knew about washing and stuff like that through what we have, the prophets, the laws and the prophets. And even the fire, a form of purification. And this, all right, no, I'm not doing that. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Verse 24. And ye shall wash your clothes on the seventh day, and ye shall be clean. And afterwards ye shall come into the camp, because now you went through the law of what? Purification. Right? This is the law of purification. It ain't going to give you, it gave us enough, of course, but if you want to go and look at the law specifically and run it down, you can go back and look at that on your own time. Right? So we know the seventh day, after the seventh day, if you did it right, you have to go make sure you do it right. All right. But you purify yourself. Then after the seventh day, now you become clean. Now you can come back in the camp. Once again, to be clean is not saying that you were in sin. That didn't mean they was in sin. They was just not pure or unclean to do what? To be in the camp. I want us to make that clear because some people saying, oh, when somebody's unclean, that means they're in sin. No. But what you do when you're unclean can put you in sin. All right. Verse 25. I'm sorry. Nobody had anything, or let me look at the chat. I apologize, beloved. I don't think I've seen anything though. Okay. That's pretty good. Verse 25. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, take the sum of the prey that was taken, both a man and a beast, thou and Eleazar the priest, and the chief fathers of the congregation, and divide the prey into two parts, between them that took the war upon them who went out to battle, and between all the congregation. So you're going to divide it into two parts, all right? Separate it. For those that actually went out and did the war and the fighting, they're going to get a half. And then you have what? Some from the congregation. Verse 28. And levy a tribute, levy a tribute unto Yahweh of the men of war, which went out to battle, one soul of 500, both of the persons, and of the beeves, and of the asses, and of the sheep. All right. Beeves is like, this is another word for like cattle. Remember looking that up. So it ain't like bees. I don't believe. Okay. Verse 29. Take it of their half and give it to Eleazar the priest for an heave offering unto, I'm sorry, for an heave offering of the Lord. All right. So we have to offer, of course, once again, when there's a gain of something, you always want to give what? Something to the Most High. That's something the law always pushes. So when you're getting some kind of increase, you want to make sure what? You give offering to the Most High. All right. This is showing or trying to teach. I tell you, everything is teaching and trying to show us something, beloved. It's showing that what? We first of all, we understand that any increase that we get, the Most High has what? Gave it to us. So it's an acknowledgement, okay, or an appreciation of the Most High doing what he got to do. And that also puts in our mind what? Prioritizing and understanding and putting God first. Okay. So the increase is one aspect, but in everything, we are supposed to be considering and putting the Most High and also get what? Always praise them for what he is doing. Okay. Waking us up in the morning. We should offer offering, right? Offering don't have to be monetary. Wake him up every morning, right? You can give him the praise and things of that nature. All right. But with war, they get the spoils, you give it to the Most High. Okay. So he gets his cut. All right. The Most High got his cut because once again, beloved, to win that battle, the Most High had to be on his side. Right. So understand you had to, if you think you did this without the Most High, and you'll be sadly mistaken, and you'll realize it's so because sometimes we look at it like, man, the Most High blessed me with all this. Oh, look at this a lot. Right. But if the Most High was on your side, you might not have got it. All right. Or the casualties could have been so much you're like, man, I'd rather have less casualties of war and got, more money. Or, some people think about the price of life. You don't think some of the wives were there hoping our husbands get back? They don't care. They ain't gonna care about. I'm speaking of food, like the reward money and the spoils you get from war. I'm sure they would rather give that up for that person's life. So think about that, beloved. Most High is bringing your loved ones back from war, whether it's, the husband, the sons, whatever, bringing them back. It's a light thing to throw something, appreciation. I mean, asking half of your stuff. It's a little appreciation. And this is something that the Satan try to get in there and make things bigger than what it is. Right? We tell, 10%, people think about it, it seems huge when you have a lot. It can get that way. Right? We put this is a penny for every, every dime you guys a penny giving back. The more you grow, it get bigger and bigger. You talk about $1 million, like 10% of it, that's a lot of, right? But it's just 10%. That's how you gotta look. It's just that 10%. All right. And the 10% he's asking for that amount, but really just not the amount. It's the what? Putting God first. That's what it's about. I want people to understand because I think people get caught up on percentage that now why is it right. It's about acknowledging God in all our ways. Okay. But let's keep going. Verse. Where do we leave off at? Verse 30. Sorry. And the children of Israel have, thou shalt take one portion of 50 of the person, of the beeves, of the asses, of the flocks, of all manner of beasts, and give them unto the Levites, which keep the charge of the tabernacle of Yahweh. Because remember, they have to do the business. They're hired of the Most High, right? The Levites is working in there, so they can't do certain things. All right, they have to be working that temple. So of course they're going to get what? The Most High gives them a portion. So that's how it works. We give the Most High and enjoying and dealing with these things, right? He don't need the money, all this. This is for what? The operation of how we set it up. That's what it was for. Okay, so the Levites are getting their cut through that. Verse 31. And Moses and Eleazar, the priest, did as Yahweh commanded Moses. And the booty, being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught, was 600,000 and 70,000 and 5,000 sheep. Okay, 600,000 plus, all right, that's the end, plus 70,000. So you got 670,000 and 5,000. So 675,000 sheep. That's a lot of sheep, beloved. All right, so think about that. 675,000. This is strictly, okay, the sheep. Can y'all imagine that, beloved? Think about it. This is way more. This is way more than half. Think about 500,000 of something, beloved. This is a sport. This is how much they just got from this spot. All right. This is a big spoil of war they're getting. And this is not it. That's just the sheep. Verse 33. And 312,000 beeves. So that's what? Three scores. Scores is 20, 20, 40, 60 plus 12. All right. That's what? 72. So they got what? 312,000 cattle. All right. So 72,000 when it comes to the beeves. And 301,000 asses. So 3 score, 20, 40, 60, and then add the what? 1,000. All right. So think about the blood. This is a lot. This is thousands. This is cattle by the thousands that they're getting right now. Verse 35. And 32,000 persons in all of women that had not known man by lying with them. So remember, they had to kill the other women, all right? But the virgin women from them, they could spare. And if they choose to, because you get these brothers that go and try to force and make things out of it, they are not forced to marry these women. Let me make that clear. Because this, I don't know, some of Israel things that's optional, they try to make that the requirement. You got to do it. No. Okay. This was something where it was not required that they had to marry these women. And no, some of them had lovely families right at home, went right home, and that's it. He's just saying they are now, these ones, once they go that separation, all that kind of stuff, these are what? They're eligible. Okay. They're eligible for you to be able to take as a wife. That's it. And this is not Once again, he is not telling you to go and grab these heathen women, you rape them and all that kind of stuff because they're not, that is not what the Most High is presenting. You get a lot of foolishness coming from some of the teachers out here with some of this stuff. All right. You don't see that. It's not okay. Most High does not sign off on that in any matter. All right. So 30 and 2,000 personnel. So 32,000. So think about that. That's just the virgin. 32,000 women. So I'm just saying it was a lot. When you fight these men, it had to be thousand with all these spoils that they're getting from this. Okay. Verse 36. And the half, which was the portion of them that went out to war, was in a number 300,000 and 30,500 sheep. And Yahweh's tribute of the sheep was 603 score and 15. So I've seen the numbers before, so I'm just going to kind of read it through. Verse 38. And the bees were 30 and 6,000, of which Yahweh's tribute was 3 score and 12. And the asses were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 3 score and 1. Verse 40. And the persons were 16,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 30 and 2 persons. And Moses gave the tribute, which was the Lord's heave offering, unto Eleazar the priest, as Yahweh commanded Moses. All right, so Moses gave the tribute, which was Yahweh's heave offering. Okay. And this was given to Eleazar the priest, because he was dealing with them, he was in charge. Verse 42. And of the children of Israel's half, which Moses divided from the men that warred, now the half that pertained unto the congregation was 300,000 and 30,000 and 7,500 sheep and 30 and 6,000 beeves and 30,000 asses and 500 and 16,000 persons. Right? So, beloved, it's just breaking down the dividing of it. Ain't really nothing to kind of go all over the place with. Okay? Verse 47. Even of the children of Israel half, Moses took one portion of 50, right? So one out of 50, all right, one portion of 50, both of man and of beast, and gave them unto the Levites, which kept the charge of the tabernacle of Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moses. Because remember, this is how the Most High paid them. I want you to understand it. So remember, there's Levites, there's the old tribe Levites, but then there's some that what? Specifically working in the temple. They don't get inheritance. Remember, when they divided the land, everybody's getting their little land mass, right? All right, Jews over here, you got Reuben, you got this and that. Levi don't have that land mass like the other ones. Their inheritance, they were getting from the Lord. Lord, that I chose y'all are going to work for me. This is going to be your inheritance. So this is why from everybody else blessing that the Most High gave them, they'll give a portion, right? When they give it to the Lord, that portion given to the Lord is what? He's paying his employees. The Most High don't have working for free. All right. So that's how they'll benefit. This is how you see the same system when you're dealing with the church world, things of that nature. The other tithe, the offerings is what? Going and dealing with the business of the Most High God. And that's the church or the ministry work or whatever like that. It always was that system when we were dealing with this. Verse 48. And the officers which were over thousands of the hosts, the captains of thousands and captains of hundreds, came near unto Moses. And they said unto Moses, Thy servants have taken the sum of men of war, which are under our charge, and there lacketh not one man of us. All right, so we ain't one of us lack. They all there, they all accounted for. All right, so the captains, they're coming and saying, we're all accounted for. So think about that blessing, beloved. Think about that blessing. When you come back, say, we all here. Think about the rejoicing that we should have. These are the things that we don't understand. These are the benefits of certain Most High God that we don't understand. So many people have casualties every day that sometimes we don't experience because of the protection of the Most High God on us. We getting caught up with the world. We don't understand all the blessings we get. If we truly understand it, beloved, we should be praising them all day long. We take it so much for granted that sometimes Most High got to do something close to us just so we can understand. This stuff is around us. death, violence all around us, beloved. We thank God that it just didn't touch us. And sometimes, like I said, most I will suffer sometimes it to happen. But we got to thank God because there's some people, beloved, I'm telling you, they will give a king's ransom not to be in your shoes. The Most High protects us and does so much for us. And it's sad that we can't give him more, right? That's the thing. He's so good to us. Even if we gave him everything that it's still, right? Still not good enough for what he deserves. So, beloved, this is where I'm always trying to even make sure I'm teaching that more and letting us and regurgitating it more for us because I want us to really understand that. Because this knowledge and everything we get is good. The knowledge that we're receiving should help us what? Appreciate God more. Because we can always sometimes all the bad, and we always see the bad and this and this and this and this and chaotic and all that stuff. And sometimes you can get in that spirit on you where you just ungrateful, you thinking this is bad and terrible, and you just so cursing everything. A lot of times, no. Wait, if you want to see the curses on the bad, let the Most High hand be removed from you. That covering that He have over you and your family, He can remove it. But we thank the Most High that He is keeping us. All right? While our loved ones away from us, He's keeping us. And we want to make sure we always giving that praise, honor, and glory to Him and never taking that for granted. Because it only takes a moment. It only takes a moment. It only take an instant for this whole thing to change in your life. All right? Even when you got our children going to school. Beloved, we see the news all the time. What's happening in these schools? Sometimes we ain't praising the Most High God, thinking about Him or praying every day, but it's on the Most High hand that it didn't maybe go to your child's school, or if it get to your child's school, it wasn't your child. But sometimes we only think about the seen danger, right? Oh well, I didn't touch my school, so I'm all right. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna really praise God. Then when it gets to your child's school, then you want to praise Him and do all those things. Make sure you praise them, beloved. Because it's powerful that what? The Most High didn't even put it near. He's putting that protection on it. Because some of these people's minds is all warped. But guess what? Even with a warped, messed up mind, guess who's still in control? The Most High. He can still direct them away from what? His people. Make sure we are always putting Him first. We can't afford not to put the Most High first. I'm telling you, we can't afford it. We can't take it if He don't prioritize us. So make sure we always being focused. We always give Him. If that's our opportunity to praise Him, make sure we are rushing and we being first with that. Because when you need the Most High, you want to be a priority. You don't want Him. I'll get back to you. I'll get to you when I get to you. We don't like that. So we have to make sure we make Him a priority, and then what? He make us a priority. And we get that priority with what? We're giving the best of ourselves to Him. In any and all fashions, we want to give the best of ourselves. Let's keep going. I'm going to start verse 49. And they said unto Moses, the servants have taken the sum of the men of war, which are under our charge, under our authority, and there lacketh not one man of us. We have therefore brought an oblation for Yahweh, what every man have gotten of jewels of gold, chains, bracelet, rings, earrings, tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before Yahweh. All right. Let's talk about the tablets, and he talking about the Apple and Android tablets, beloved. All right. So he said, because of this, listen what they're saying, beloved. We're responsible for these men. We're captains, and we're responsible for these people. Now, we got to understand, definitely as leaders, and definitely, we're looking at this. They're like, we had a responsibility to go out. And there's a risk from going out to war, beloved. right? You going to take, they try to take your life, you try to take their life. You have that, usually always casualties. And guess what? You, as that leader, got you usually take the burden and the blunt of when things are lost or go wrong. They understand that what? It was the Most High that allowed them to go and come back and all accounted for. They said, oh, I thank God. But what did they do? Said, we have therefore brought an oblation for Lord. We're gonna give an appreciation to the Most High. Sure, they could just went back. They have to. They could like, you know what? We already divided. He said, take the portion and stuff. We're good. But the Most High knows our hearts before we know it. For we can understand it. He knows it. Maybe this is the reason why what? They got blessed and had no casualties. Because he knew that they were going to what? Prioritize him. Because listen, love, this could have made families and kids real happy, right? You're breaking more gold and everything, right? People love all that. But they understood. We could have did this without the Most High. This stuff would mean nothing if he didn't protect our lives, because our lives is more valuable than this, all these riches. What every man have gotten, he makes sure everybody gave jewels of gold, chains, bracelets. And our people got that. Our people can wear that, beloved. Right? Nothing wrong with it. I know there's teachings about you can't wear no kind of jewelry, which is just ridiculous. But once again, what they have. And they said it was a sin. It said they chose to give this oblation to the Lord. It wasn't required. They could have had these things. Hmm? Earrings, rings, and earrings, right? You can have those things to make an atonement. Listen, to make an atonement for our souls before Yahweh. So we use these things to make an atonement. And I tell you, we have that day of atonement. Okay, we observe that day of atonement, which we fast and things of that nature, right? Afflict our souls. But there was atonements that they can do, right? When they're doing the offerings and stuff, these are little atonements that they can do throughout the year, right? Don't feel like you have to wait till the day of atonement. No, right? You can atone, and by doing atonement, you want to give your life over. There's no greater atonement than giving your life over to God, love it, and walking in righteousness and truth. No greater atonement. Verse 51. And Moses and Eleazar, the priests, took the gold of them, even all the wrought of jewels, and all the gold of the offering that they offered up to Yahweh of the captains of thousands and of the captains of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. No, I did not look up how much they would consider that to be worth now, but beloved, pretty sure it's a very, very, very good amount of money they gave. Verse 53. For the men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of thousands, of hundreds, and brought it to the tabernacle of the congregation for a memorial for the children of Israel before Yahweh. I love it. So, once again, we've seen the war, we've seen the fight, we've seen the results, we see the how the Most High divide things, and how the men of the Lord appreciate the Most High, and that they what? They was given of their own substance. Okay, things that belong to them. Okay? So, beloved, hopefully we, like I said, with some of these, I know there's gonna be some chapters and everything, which is kind of stories and things. But once again, we can pull substance from it. We can pull lessons from them. We can pull certain characteristics that the Most High is looking for, and the blessings that come, and how they thought and how they think. We want to grab all those little nuances in these chapters. Mhm. So, beloved, that's Numbers 31. Did anybody have any questions or want to bring something out? All right. And if that is it, those that's watching online through YouTube, we are going to close it out. For y'all, we say shalom or shalom, which means peace, and ayana habathum, which means we love you all. We truly do. To our YouTube family, shalom.